The Warner's Winter Warm-Up, and this is the 6th year that Kurt Warner's First Things First Foundation has done this for our community in the bi-state area. Operation Food Search has joined in, and the Cardinals quarterback, Kurt, joins us on the AT&T fan line. Kurt, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Thank you, Kevin. Good to talk to you.
We appreciate it, thank you for joining us. Once again, the warm-up takes place, goes from now through December 3rd, and folks can drop off the coats with police, FedEx, Kinko's, Custom Cuts, AIM Razik, and area credit unions, right?
We got over 200 locations around the area this year, so shouldn't be hard to find one in your area. You can jump on to kurtwarner.org to find out all the drop-off locations and any other information you want on the foundation or on Warner's Warmup.
And we're talking about new or gently used winter coats, right? Nothing that's been there for 50 years to get something decent.
Exactly, something nice that you would feel good that somebody could use and get good use out of this winter, that it would keep them warm. Specifically, children's coats are needed. There's a number of kids that are in need, but of course we'll take anything and everything you have and try to distribute them to the right people.
And they can just drop on the website. Is there a phone number also that folks could call?
The website's the best way, and you can get all the information there to call the different agencies or whoever. Call my foundation, talk to them. Either way, it'll give you all the information you need.
Kurt, how many coats do you suppose have been donated?
Well, we've had in upwards of 10,000 coats every year.
Wow.
A number of years we've received a good amount of cash as well, in which we've gone out and purchased more coats. So I would say at least 10,000 a year, so probably well over 50,000 coats up to this point. But, what we've come to realize is although 10,000 is a lot of support and a lot of coats, it doesn't meet the full need each and every year. And so, we're looking with all our new partners and all the people that have gotten behind us that hopefully we can get even more coats this year, more cash this year to really make even a bigger dent in the need that's out there every winter.
And a lot of people think, well, that's football fans to do this. No, it's everybody. Everybody can join in. Everybody can help out. And when you're talking about one coat, if it's one coat per person that's listening right now, we can shatter that 10,000. And this, as Kirk pointed out, folks, this is for people that don't have the necessary ability to keep warm during the wintertime. And even though it doesn't get as cold as it used to around here, it still gets plenty cold.
You're exactly right. And I think the hardest thing a lot of times is everybody wants to get involved, but it's always hard to figure out, well, how to get the coats, or, if it's just one day, dropping off at a game like we used to do. That's the great thing now, with the police stations and the credit unions and FedEx, Kinko's, Custom Cuts, all those places, around the community, that it'll be easier to drop off those coats. Just throw them in your trunk one day, heading off to work, and there should be an easy drop-off site very close to where you're going or where you live, and hopefully that will make it easier for people to get involved, because we all know that when we have younger kids that they grow out of their coats in a year or so, and what do you do with them? So this is a great opportunity to put them to good use, to give some kids, some adults, a chance to stay warm throughout the winter. And so that's what we're hoping, and that's what we're thankful for with all the partners that we have there in St. Louis.
And Kurt, I can promise people, when I used to drop that coat outside the stadium in the bin, but when you send that coat in, you feel pretty darn good. You feel like you're helping somebody, and that's a good feeling.
Well, and Operation Food Search does a tremendous job of finding those that are really in need, whether it be social services or through some of the schools, and getting them into the hands of the people that need to get them, and getting them to them very quickly, so they can really put good use into them and stay warm throughout all the cold winter months.
Kurt Warner visiting with us from Arizona, where you don't need a coat right now, do you, Kurt? It's pretty warm out there, isn't it?
No, we're fortunate in that regard that we're not dealing with the cold weather. We got to deal with the heat in the summertime, but right now it's a perfect time of year, and every day you wake up and the sun's out and it's about 85 degrees. But we'll never forget those winters, and we'll never forget seeing all those kids and going out to the schools and realizing how many of them come to school with a little windbreaker jacket or a little sweatshirt on when it's freezing cold outside, and what kind of difference the Warner's Warmup can really make.
I've always admired all of the work that both you and Brenda do, and I know this has been a rough year football-wise. Things haven't worked out in the desert the way everybody thought they would when the season started, have they?
No, not even close. It's been very frustrating, very disappointing from a lot of different levels for us out here in Arizona. There were so many expectations on what we could accomplish and what we could be this year, and we haven't lived up to any of them. And it's been very frustrating for me personally. It's difficult to go through those seasons. I don't think many of us have ever been in this place before, where we're sitting at 1-8, now we're 2-9 or 2-8, and it's just a difficult place having 10 games into the season and knowing basically your hopes of what you were trying to accomplish, getting to the playoffs and making a run at the championship are pretty much over already. To stay excited and to stay up and to continue to prepare the way you normally would at this point in the season is a difficult thing to do.
I got to believe the mental aspect of football when things turn south is probably the most difficult thing.
Well, I think so, because, to go and put in all the work that it takes week in and week out when you really know that, I don't want to say it doesn't mean anything, because you still want to win and want to salvage what you can, but when you've set all these goals and had all these expectations going in, and then those things are basically thrown out the window, and now you're just basically playing for a record or some sort of pride, it's a whole different mentality than playing for a championship and trying to be the best team in your league. And so it is mentally wearing to have to put in that time and the effort and to still stay focused enough to prepare like a pro, even though, you don't have a whole lot to play for.
Kurt, I know you had told us, as we talked with Kurt Warner on 590 The Fan, you had told us at the beginning of the season that you had the confidence of the coaching staff and all of that, and it looked as though this would, no matter how the season started, it would be your season as the quarterback. Was that surprising to you when Denny Green made that change?
It was very surprising to me, especially, first game of the season, voted player of the week in the NFL, having some success and really feel like, through preseason and everything that I had a great camp and, I was playing really good football. And, unfortunately, we weren't playing great football together as a team. And, I think I was unfortunate and I was frustrated because, that when something like this happens and you're not having success, very seldom does it come down to one guy. Very seldom is it one guy's fault. And, to be singled out, I say, but, to be the guy that I guess took the brunt of that and lost my job when, was really a team thing was frustrating for me. And, and after all the indications that I got and everything that people had told me, and then to have it happen as quickly as it did, it was hard to handle, and it did kind of catch me off guard, and it's been frustrating here because of that.
It is frustrating. Of course, we've all been down this road before and seen this happen before. It seems as though people's word is not always what it appears to be, and I've read stories where you said that you're thinking about possibly retiring when the season ends. Have you made a decision on that?
No, I haven't made any decisions, and I continue to weigh everything. I'm definitely going to sit down at the end of the season and talk with my family and figure out what's best for all of us. The NFL obviously affords you a number of luxuries, whether it be financial, whether it be opening up doors and giving us opportunities, whether it be with our foundation or future endeavors, to get out there and to hold on to a name and hopefully open up doors to impact people. But there's also the other side of it. Can I accept the role of being a backup, especially in a situation where I feel like I'm still good enough to be a starter? Can I change my mentality? Can I go to work every day and enjoy it in that capacity? Can I be good for my team? Am I willing to prepare like I need to help my team win in that situation? And so those are the things that I have to weigh, and I have to try to figure out if I can get comfortable with. I have to try to figure out what direction this organization is going next year and into the future, and how I fit into those plans. And those are the things that I'm going to continue to look into and make sure I'm making the best decision. I have made a commitment to this organization for 2 more years. They made that commitment to me, signing that contract in the off season, and so that's definitely something that I will have to consider and make sure I feel comfortable, living up to my end of that bargain. And so there's a lot of factors that go into it. I'm always going to weigh my options, and like you said, especially when you're in this kind of situation for, really the second or third time, where you're faced with something that you didn't see coming, and now you have to weigh and see if it's, it's still something you want to do, and you can give everything you have to it.
Would a coaching change affect your decision?
Well, I think, I would have to see, who the organization brought in, if they went that direction, how that coach and that staff saw me in the plans, how they felt about me as a person and a player, and, what I could really bring to the table in a new system. And, so I would definitely, look into, what that team and that staff, or I should say that coach and that staff, how they looked at me before making a decision. But, don't know if that would be the only factor or a factor that, sways me definitely one way or the other.
Well, folks, the Warner Winter Warm-Up is going on right now, and it goes through December 3rd. All you have to do is visit kurtwarner.org. You can find out where you can drop off either a new or a gently used winter coat to help out. Kids' coats are obviously a priority and something that everybody looks for, but if you can only have an adult coat that you can donate, please feel free to do so and drop it by at any one of the spots through December 3rd. Kurt and Brendan, their family, always remembering the St. Louis community, and we always appreciate that. And, Kurt, thanks for visiting with us. So we'll continue to support the warm-up and you, and God bless you and your family, and happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you so much. You have a good